Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our Q&A with Dr. Niki Davis. I'm Chandler Rosenberg here with Dr. Davis. Welcome.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Today, we've got a more fundamental nutrition question. Can you talk to us about what calorie density is?
Okay, this is one of my favorite topics. I love talking about calorie density. I think it's so important for anyone, but especially when you're looking at a plant-based diet, looking at maybe some of the things that are a little bit more healthy in a plant-based diet versus things that aren't so healthy. So calorie density is basically just a measure of the amount of calories in a given weight of food. And usually people will look at calorie density in kilocalories per pound. So why is calorie density important? Well, when you eat food, one of the main things that happens in your stomach is that as the food goes into your stomach, it stretches. And there are some nerve stretch receptors in your stomach that will sense that stretching and send signals to your brain saying, hey, this is starting to get bigger. It looks like we should start slowing down. And then you get these signals to slow down your eating and stop eating. So why calorie density is important is because it's looking at if you have two separate foods that are about the same size, you're looking at how those compare in their calories. So one of them could have, say, 1,000 calories and be about a cup or two of food, and another one could be 100 calories and be a cup or two of food. And so it's the same amount that your stomach is noticing in there and the same amount that it causes to stretch, but you're either going to get a lot more calories or fewer calories. And so this is especially important when you're talking about people who are, obese or overweight and looking to try to lose weight. Really understanding calorie density is important. So one of the lowest calorie dense foods is going to be your non-starchy vegetables. So things like broccoli or cauliflower, carrots, they're about 100 kilocalories per pound. So if you figure that your stomach, an adult stomach can fit about 4 cups of food, you're going to be able to fit, about 4 cups of those veggies in your stomach and end up with maybe 500 calories at the most. So you can fill your entire stomach with those non-starchy vegetables for 500 calories. On the flip side, if you look at the most calorie dense food on the planet, it's oil. So oil is 100% fat. You are going to get more calories from fat calories than you are going to get from either protein or carbohydrate. So fat has 9 calories per gram, whereas protein and carbohydrate have only 4 calories per gram. So you get more calories when you're eating fat, but also oil is 100% liquid fat. So 4,000 kilocalories per pound in oil. So that's 40-fold the amount of calories you're going to get in non-starchy vegetables. So you can see very quickly how you can fill your stomach up for 500 calories of non-starchy vegetables, but then if you take, say, that same 500 calories of oil, which would probably be about 3 or 4 tablespoons, imagine how much of your stomach that's going to fill. Not very much. It's not going to stretch at all. And it's not going to tell your brain that you've had enough to eat because you're not getting any nutrients. In fact, with that oil, you're getting 0 nutrients. And so that's the other interesting thing with calorie density is that usually something that's more calorie dilute, so less calories per pound, are also the foods that are more nutrient dense. So the vegetables and the fruits and things like that, where the things that are more calorie dense, like oil or cheeses or meats, processed foods, things like that, are going to be the ones that are less nutrient dense. So they just don't have as many nutrients. So that's if you want to look at kind of where you want to stay as far as calorie density, most plant foods are going to be much less than about 700 kilocalories per pound, where foods that are above about 700 kilocalories per pound are going to be more of the processed foods, the meats, the cheeses, the oils, and things like that. So if you can stay under about that 700 mark, you're doing great. So that's calorie density in a nutshell.
Thank you so much. That explains why your brain doesn't really have an off switch when you're eating these high calorie, oily, sugary foods. So very helpful.
Yeah, that's definitely part of it for sure.
Thank you so much. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks.